Assalamu alaikum, this is Maria Zulfikar welcoming you all to the English news from BTV Chattogram. Let's begin with the headlines. Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus invites Chief Executive Officer of SpaceX Elon Musk to visit and launch Starlink satellite service in Bangladesh. Ready-made garment exports continue to show positive trend in all markets in first half of current fiscal year. Home Advisor retired Lieutenant General Jahangir Alam Chaudhry directs police not to materialize agenda of political parties and their undue demands. Appellate Division fixes March 2 for appeal hearing against High Court's verdict acquitting BNP Chairperson Begum Khaleda Zia in Zia Charitable Trust case. Russia launches largest single drone attack on Ukraine day before third anniversary of the war. And India chasing victory target of 242 runs set by Pakistan in ICC Champions Trophy at Dubai International Cricket Stadium. Viewers, those were the headlines. Now moving on to the details. Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus has invited top U.S. businessman and Chief Executive Officer of SpaceX Elon Musk to visit Bangladesh and launch Starlink satellite service in the country. In a letter to Elon Musk on February 19, the Chief Advisor told Musk that his visit to Bangladesh would allow him to meet Bangladeshi young men and women who will be among the main beneficiaries of this leading technology. The Chief Advisor said in the letter, "Let us work together to deliver our mutual vision for a better future." The letter said integrating Starlink's connectivity into Bangladesh's infrastructure will have transformational impact, particularly for Bangladesh's enterprising youth, rural and vulnerable women, and remote and underserved communities. The Chief Advisor asked his High Representative Dr. Khalilur Rahman to coordinate closely with his SpaceX team to ensure completion of the necessary work to make Starlink ready for launching in Bangladesh within the next 19 working days. The Chief Advisor on February 13 held an extensive telephonic discussion with Musk, the founder of SpaceX, Tesla, and X, to explore future collaboration and to make further progress to introduce Starlink satellite internet service in Bangladesh. Bangladesh has gained momentum in ready-made garment exports once again. In the first half of the current fiscal year, exports have continued to show a positive trend in all markets. The country has exported ready-made garment products worth $1,989 crore in the first half of the current fiscal year, which is 13.28% more than the same period of the last fiscal year. Bangladesh exported RMG products worth $1,756 crore in the first half of the previous fiscal year. The Export Promotion Bureau and BGMEA sources said exports have increased to the European Union, the United Kingdom, Canada, and non-traditional markets alongside to the United States. Among these, exports to all markets except the United Kingdom and non-traditional markets have increased by more than 10%. RMG entrepreneurs said the Trump administration has levied taxes and tariffs on imports from China, Mexico, and Canada. As a result, Bangladesh may be the next place where RMG products are purchased. Home Advisor retired Lieutenant General Jahangir Alam Chaudhary directed police not to materialize agenda of political parties and their undue demands. He gave the directive at the training conclusion parade of 40th BCS Police at Sharda in Rajshahi today. Addressing the new assistant police supers, the Home Advisor said the police have to be turned into a trained, service-oriented, time-befitting and humanitarian force. That is why rule of law has to be established by implementing the recommendations of the Reform Commission. Jahangir Alam Chaudhary went on saying that police are not for any quarter, rather they are the symbol of establishing justice and trust of people. Police personnel have to be cautious so that service seekers are not harassed, he added. The Appellate Division fixed March 2 for appeal hearing against the verdict of the High Court that acquitted BNP chairperson Begum Khaleda Zia of her 7-year imprisonment in Zia Charitable Trust case. The state side and Anti-Corruption Commission filed the appeal against the verdict. A 3-member Appellate Division bench led by Senior Justice Muhammad Ashfaqul Islam fixed the date today. On February 16, the state side filed the petition with the Appellate Division against the High Court verdict acquitting former Prime Minister Khaleda Zia in Zia Charitable Trust case. The bench of Justice A.K.M. Asaduzzaman and Justice Syed Inayat Hussain gave the verdict on November 27 last year. The Appellate Division fixed Tuesday for the review petition of Jamaat-e-Islami leader ATM Azharul Islam against his death penalty in the case filed on charges of crimes against humanity during the Liberation War. The Appellate Division bench led by Justice Muhammad Ashfaqul Islam fixed the date today. Attorney General Muhammad Asaduzzaman moved the issue for hearing. Chief Prosecutor of the Tribunal Muhammad Tajul Islam, Jamaat leader Azharul Islam's lawyer Muhammad Shishir Munir were present at that time. On December 30 in 2014, the International Crimes Tribunal sentenced Azharul Islam to death by hanging. His lawyers appealed against the verdict on January 28 in 2015, but the Appellate Division upheld the death sentence of Azharul Islam on October 23 in 2019. The Jamaat-e-Islami leader filed a review petition against the verdict. The International Crimes Tribunal ICT set 22nd of April for submitting probe report in crimes against humanity case filed over atrocities that took place at Chankarpul area on 5th of August during the July uprising. The 3-member tribunal led by Justice Muhammad Ghulam Murtuza Muzumdar set the date today. 3 accused, the then Inspector Arshad Hussain, Constables Imaj Hussain and Shujon Hussain, were produced before the tribunal for the hearing. The ICT also placed them on a single-day remand each in the case. The tribunal also placed the then Sub-Inspector Chanchol Chandra Sarkar on a 1-day remand for killing Amir Hussain in Rampura. While briefing the journalists, Chief Prosecutor Tajul Islam said, before fleeing the country, Sheikh Hasina visited the National Institute of Traumatology and Orthopedic Rehabilitation (NITOR) and told the doctors, no treatment, no release. The Chief Prosecutor said that the tribunal had been informed about the matter. To make paying of home tax easier for the city dwellers, the Chattogram City Corporation organized a day-long home tax fair in the city for taxpayers under Revenue Circles 1 and 5. City Mayor Dr. Shahadat Hussain inaugurated the tax fair at the Premier University premises at Dampara today. He said that the cooperation of the city dwellers is needed to make Chattogram a clean and green city. The tax fair will continue to help the city city dwellers pay their home tax easily. He also said the city dwellers will be able to pay their taxes easily from now on. Through this, the city's development activities will be further strengthened. Chief Executive Officer of Chattogram City Corporation, Sheikh Mohammad Tawhidul Islam, presided over the inauguration ceremony attended by the revenue officials. Now, international news. Russia launched the largest single drone attack on Ukraine on Saturday night, the day before the third anniversary of the war. Ukraine's Air Force Command spokesman Yuri Ignat said a record 267 Russian drones were launched in a single coordinated attack. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said they need the strength of all of Europe, the US, and everyone who seeks lasting peace. He said in a statement that this week Russia had launched nearly 1,150 attack drones, more than 1,400 guided aerial bombs and 35 missiles of various types at Ukraine. It is not clear how many people have died, but initial figures from emergency services suggest there were at least 3 casualties. Meanwhile, Russia's defense ministry said that 20 Ukrainian drones launched into Russia were destroyed overnight. Hamas has accused Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of sabotaging the Gaza ceasefire agreement, saying the Israeli government is not engaging in negotiations for the second phase of the deal due to end on March 1. Details of the second and third phases of the agreement, though understood to be agreed to the principle, were supposed to be negotiated during the 6-week first phase, which has seen the release of Israeli captives in exchange for Palestinian prisoners, the partial withdrawal of Israeli troops from Gaza, and delivery of aid into the enclave devastated by the 15 months of non-stop Israeli bombardment. According to the deal, which started on January 19, the second phase, if finalized, would see the release of all the Israeli captives and a permanent ceasefire. As part of the ceasefire agreement, Israel had agreed to allow 60,000 mobile homes and 2 lakh tents into Gaza, but the requirement has not been met. More than 90% of Gaza's 2.4 million Palestinians have been displaced, and large swaths of the enclave have been turned into rubble. A high-ranking general in Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps IRGC, Ibrahim Jabari, said the planned Operation True Promise 3 would be launched at the right time on a scale sufficient to destroy Israel. The general, who is an advisor to IRGC Chief Commander Hossein Salami, was speaking to paramilitary forces during ongoing drills named the Great Exercise of Prophet Muhammad's Power. He said the operation can raise Tel Aviv and Haifa to the ground. Responding to the threat, Israeli Foreign Minister Gideon Sa'ar said they are ready to face any attack by Iran. The delicate situation in the Middle East was threatened by an exchange of threats between officials of old adversaries, Iran and Israel, as the fragile truce in the war-torn Gaza Strip continues.